Pokemon Sun and Moon has some new features and UI changes, and they rock. Pokemon Sun and Moon announced Young Goose, Pick-a-Peck, and Grubbin as 3 new Pokemon. Young Goose is a honey badger, and he just don't care. Or he's like a mongoose or something. Pick-a-Peck is that Pokemon we saw in the initial trailer. It's a little bird.
Yeah.
And then Grubbin's kind of like the new Caterpie.
Yeah.
There's also a new battle mode where you can do 4 players fighting against each other at the same time. But like they can attack whoever they want. It's weird. It's not like 2-on-2 battles. It's 1-on-1-on-1-on-1.
Yeah, it's really interesting and very cool looking.
Yeah, very. You all come out it's kind of like a WWE sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's also new like UI changes where now you can look at the info of a move right away from the touchpad. You can QR code Pokemon. I think we talked about that in the past. But also, moves now say if they're effective, super effective, or not effective, or...
I feel like this is going to be the black and white of... maybe just... probably the 2. Where... Because I remember with black and white 2, where we were playing those, just like... The new features that they added and all the little subtle things that they made to streamline the experience, make it easier and more accessible, were like, why hasn't this been in a Pokemon game since the beginning? And there was so much that was making it pleasing. They knew that diehard fans were going to be the ones that were picking up this game, like mostly and stuff. I feel like they knew that that what fans had come to expect, what they had played over and over again for years, and what like adding a little more difficulty and challenge, but just like making things where if you're using a repel and you run out and it says, do you want to use another repel? And it was like, thank God they finally, like, why had this not been a feature in the past where you had to every time go into your menu, and now it's like you can check the moves. It says super effective if the move is effective, so you don't have to be constantly checking
look at your
types
Pokedex app and stuff and memorizing all this. But I don't think it'll like... I think because my initial complaint was like, well, what's the point of even studying all that now? I want to be like the Pokemon Master. I want to know what effects are... But I think it'll instinctively tell you, like, you'll just start to know, oh, this is super effective because it'll just get muscle memory where it's like, I know my water moves are always super effective when I'm fighting a rock Pokemon. And there's also sometimes we just don't know if this Pokemon's rock or not, and it just makes sense for your little Rotom Dex to tell you, like, this is...
Well, it also makes it a lot easier when they add new types and new matchups and stuff, where it's like you never know. It's constantly evolving, and if they add a new Pokemon to the roster and stuff, it suddenly switches a lot of things up. So I think definitely it'll come to be muscle memory and something where you'll learn from it. It'll be teaching you while at the same time making it easier to play the game. And seeing the little descriptions of the moves so easily. Just by clicking it really quickly is amazing, and so
and the new
trainers that are joining you in battle now. The trainers will be.
Yeah, you can see your trainer. That's so cool, and it brings back the customization. You can pick your own shirts, hats. I mean, this is once again the definitive Pokemon. I didn't feel like that with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I feel like they took a step back in some ways, but a step ahead in others. I'm like, But this seems to be the only thing I think it's missing so far. I want to see is just the hidden camps. I want those to be back from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it brings back customization. It looks like the story's really fun. Your rival Hua or whatever doesn't have. He has like a Pikachu. He has a Pichu, which was weird.
What was also interesting is that we see a lot of Gen 2, like Lediba. And Pichu were the ones
and
that we saw.
There's that theory we talked about, I think, or we may have like just heard that there's lots and lots of parallels between Sun and Moon and Gold and Silver and life and death and these cycles and stuff.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's going to be like a crazy awesome game. And they surprised us at E3 because they were like, let's get into Pokemon Sun and Moon. And then for like a half hour, they showed everything we knew already.
Yeah.
But then they're like, let's go into a battle real quick. And they went into a battle, and that's... Then they didn't even acknowledge it because we just saw these things, and Zach and I are like pausing the E3 stream like, what is that? Like, you can see super effective there, and like there's this new thing like where you do like when you lock on with trainer eyes, like the screen gets a little darker when you're getting like right into their gaze, and like it shows you where they can see, and then when it does lock, they have like this kind of persona looking thing where it's just, I mean, so much polish, and they weren't even acknowledging it. They're just like, whatever. Oh, by the way, did you see that little eye there? You can click. And it's just like, they handled that so badly. But we were so happy to see that because that was that was perfect for E3 to see that kind of hype, and I wish they just would have showcased that in a nice, neat, clean trailer